Welcome to the Delvin Cox Experience, the podcast in which each week I am on a one-man mission to unite our culture through diversity. I'm your host, Delvin Cox, and with me this week on the podcast is a special guest, my brother. I've said this to him before. He has one of the best basketball podcasts there is, and I meant it when I said it then, and I mean it when I say it now. Welcome back to the podcast, Jus Blaze. How you doing, brother?
Delvin, I appreciate the kind words, my brother. You know, we always family, man. We've been connected with each other for a long time now, for years now. It's been,
yeah, definitely.
So
like
I
always say,
kind words, my brother.
The Above the Rim podcast is fantastic. You do a great job with it. Knowledgeable. Like even when I first met you, first thing I said, you were like, "Damn, for somebody who's an indie podcaster, this is one well put together podcast." And I always appreciate that about it because it made me step my game up with podcasting in terms of like, hey, maybe we should try this, try that. So I appreciate that about you.
Of course, and I appreciate you saying that to me, man, because I do the same thing as you do. You listen to other people's show and try to take bits and pieces and find your style within that. I try to do the same, man. So my ears is always to the street. So I'm always trying to be, innovative or try some new creative shit. Because as you know, podcasts, they're all about you. So
yeah,
your part is about you. It's a reflection of you. And mine is the same. So I appreciate the kind words as always, brother.
No problem, brother. And as always, we like to start the podcast off with the 5 for 5. 5 questions, 5 answers to get the ball rolling. Justin, you ready?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, question number 1. And this is a good question for you. What's the best album you've heard this year? And it has to be this year because hip-hop, baby. What's the best hip-hop album you heard this year?
Damn. See, I know the mainstream. I know the mainstream is probably gonna go CLB or something like that. The normal, but
yeah,
I'm gonna say for me, yeah, it was decent though. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't like it that much. It was okay, but I wasn't too much of a fan of it
at all. You didn't like it?
I'll put it this way: the first half of it I liked. The second half I didn't like.
Yeah, to me, it had a couple of tracks that I could rock to, but then, it had this couple of normal snooze fests. So yes. I let some of those go.
That's accurate.
But, yeah, for real. But, okay, so best, I will go my favorite album that I listened to this year. I'm going to go Don Toliver, man. I don't know if you're familiar with my man Don Toliver.
I know who he is.
Don album.
I have not heard the album yet. A couple people recommended that to me.
Bruh, check it out, man. Don Toliver, The Life of Don. He's like a Travis Scott kind of transplant type.
Okay.
But really good music, great beats, great bass, great vibes to the music too. It'll put you in the mood. So definitely check it out, man. So I'm gonna go for me. My favorite this year will be Don Toliver.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely check that out then.
All right. Damn, I'm trying to think. I can't remember what else was out this year.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff came out. J. Cole, Nas.
Oh, my son Nasir. Oh,
that album was fire. That album was really good.
Wow. All right, so that might be a tie. You know, me and you are big Nas fans. So,
yes, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with tie on that one. I'm gonna go Nas with the tie. I forgot about him. That was this year. Yeah,
that was this year. Hard to believe that too. Back-to-back albums, and both of them were really good.
Yeah, because it's like, man, this has been a long year now that you think about it, man. And I'm like, I can't even remember all of the albums this year. But all right, I'll rock with those two.
Okay, I like that. Question number 2. And since you're a basketball fan like myself, I'm going to ask you this question. What is the best basketball to play street ball with?
I'm going to go Spalding, man. I'm going to go Spalding. I'm gonna go to official tissue. Okay. I'm gonna go Spalding to rock with because there's a lot of different balls you can use depending on the pavement, depending on the court that you're playing on too.
Very important.
Turf on, very important. But just for this, I'm gonna go to classic. I'm gonna go Spalding for me.
Yeah, you gotta have one. Well, I ain't had no handle, so it didn't matter with me. You gotta have one that have a good grip to it.
You got some handles, man. Maybe an open jumper. You got something.
Yeah, maybe a jumper, but that's about it.
Gotta catch you on the court, DC, to see your moves, man.
Yeah, now I'm trash. I am 100% trash now.
I hear that, man.
Oh, man. All right. Question number 3. Give me your top 5 NBA players today.
My top 5 favorite or top 5 in the NBA?
Let's go your top 5 favorite today. They're that are currently active.
Okay, my top 5 favorite today. Number 1, gotta be CP3. Gotta be
Okay.
number 1. This is no particular order, so I'm gonna just remember my top 5 who I rock with the most. Kemba Walker, definitely.
Good choice.
Is in my top 5. Gotta go Melo, Carmelo Anthony in my top 5.
I like Melo a lot.
Definitely. Jason Tatum in my top 5, so that's 4.
Tatum's good.
And number 5. Ooh. Do like a few guys. I'm gonna go number 5. I'm gonna go John Morant. Sneaking into my top 5 favorites.
John Morant's been playing.
Balling this year, man. That's my
like
guy
it.
right there. That's my guy right there. Hopefully he makes the All-Star team.
Definitely. Question number 4. First, you play 2K?
Yeah.
I knew that answer already, but let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When you play 2K, what type of player do you create?
Oh, always a point guard.
Point guard
playmaker. Point guard playmaker for me.
Okay, I like that. I usually pick small forward, or believe it or not, I pick a center.
Really? You know what? I want to try my career as a center. I've never tried it before.
I try as a center because I want to play like with somebody like a Shaq type player. Because I like playing in the paint.
Yeah. Do you like playing as a center more than a small forward?
In the earlier versions I did, like 2K, I want to say like from 10 on down.
Yeah.
When they started refining the low post move, but now I kind of like playing as point guard or small forward because they've just the ball handling skills like that have gotten so much better with the game. It's just different.
Yeah, and me too. I like to be in control also as well. So that's why I always pick a point guard playmaker. I'm always controlling the offense, and in real life, that's how I play. So
that makes sense.
I'm always a big fan of point guard. So I always choose a point guard. But you know what? I might try for the next one after I'm done with my career. I'm gonna try center, man. I'm gonna see how that rock. Let me get to a Shaq type.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 5. This is gonna be something good for you.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to remake the Above the Rim movie, who would you cast in the main roles? Well, I guess the 2 main roles would be Pac's character and I can't remember his name.
And Dwayne Martin.
Dwayne Martin's character, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Like modern day actors right now?
I would say go modern day.
Damn, who's hot right now that can really play Dwayne Martin right now? I'm trying to think. Throw me some young actors out there right now.
I was thinking, at least for the Pac character, I can't remember his name. He had that funny name. He was in Candyman, in the new Candyman movie. Damn, I can't remember his name.
Oh, the one who was the artist or the painter?
Yes.
Oh, actually, he would be a good Pac's brother. How am I forgetting his name? Wow. Look at me drawing a blank. Whoa. Yeah, but I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The security guard. Wow, I'm tripping out. But whatever, it'll come right back to me.
Yeah.
But okay, him for Pac's character, that's not bad. You know who I'm also thinking of? That wouldn't work. Damn, this is a tough question, man. Wow.
I feel like the cheat answer is Michael B. Jordan.
I was thinking that, but I didn't want to go with him, man. That's too easy. Easy. And you know what? Michael B. Jordan's acting fell off a little bit low key lately. I mean, he's getting a lot of roles. So I would rather a young, hungry actor. Yeah. Okay. The guy I was talking about his name, this is why I can't remember his name because it's hard to pronounce. Yara Abdul Mateen II. He was in that Netflix show also as well, right?
He was in a couple of things. He was in Watchmen. Yeah. He was in
Watchmen.
He's in the new Matrix movie that's coming out.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's the main character in it.
Yeah, so damn, you might have to come back to me on this one. I can't think of someone really in particular who because I'm just drawing a blank on the young black actors right now who I would like to play. Because I would say all the actors I'm thinking of are kind of old. Maybe Ghost. I'm saying Ghost, but his real character, Ghost from Power. I'm forgetting his real name. Okay,
let's try this then. I got an idea. Yeah. A young basketball player.
Well, a young basketball player right now?
Yeah, let's pick a young basketball player right now to play that character.
Oh, I would go Jason Tatum probably. I would go him. Probably
Okay,
Jason
that'll work.
Tatum. I would go. Yeah, that'll work right now. Yeah, because I feel like we got a shortage of young black actors right now.
I feel like all the young black actors we have now aren't really young black actors. They're like middle age. Like the
Exactly,
guy
or
I just
30
named,
plus.
Donald Glover,
Yeah, see, he
Denzel's
wouldn't be good
son.
for that role.
All of them were
Exactly, he
like
wouldn't be
middle age.
good for
Even
that role.
just all the ones that aren't really young. They're like in their 30s, in their late
Yeah,
20s or 30s.
yeah, and I'm thinking of all our shows too. The main actors are always at least 30 or 30
Yeah,
plus. They maybe play a younger character, but they're definitely in real life at least 30.
yeah. So
A lot of
you don't really have that young kind of like Blair Underwood type character that was like 20 years old acting and stuff like that, like we used to have.
exactly. Damn, I can't believe I drew a blank on that. You know what? Right after maybe when we're done the show, maybe later in the show, it's gonna come to me, man. So I'm gonna
Definitely.
think of one.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, brother. How's the podcast been going? I think you've had an interesting go at it the last, I want to say, couple of years, kind of covering the NBA stuff during a pandemic, which is unheard of and unprecedented. What has it
Yeah.
been like trying to just do that in general?
I will say it's been a challenge, man. Definitely finding different ways to definitely innovate the show because I have been doing it in a few years. So you definitely always gotta find every new season, you gotta find something new to try to innovate with your show, do something new, something creative, something to engage more people or do just something just to make it sound a little bit different, you know. So it's been a challenge, but a good challenge, I would say. And definitely through the pandemic, I had to take like a little bit of a break as I feel like a few people did, especially when the NBA season was out for a couple of months. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit challenging, but it was cool because right when the season started right back up, you know, the bubble was a big time. At that time, only basketball was coming back.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good time. So it was kind of a snowball effect after that. And it's been smooth sailing since then.
I don't think I asked you this. So I'm
Yeah.
going to ask you this now. Even on Twitter, I never asked you this. What did you think of pandemic basketball in terms of the bubble basketball and stuff like that?
I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. I liked it. I think actually when they got to the bubble, it raised the competitiveness of the league. I feel like a lot of guys they really got in tune in the bubble because there were less distractions. Obviously, their ladies weren't there, or their
Yeah.
kids, or whoever they usually hang around with all the time wasn't with them. So I feel like it caused for a more competitive environment amongst the players, and we got some good games in the bubble.
Yeah, we definitely
But
did.
yeah, but it was cool. It was just the time changes were weird because there were games on at like 1 p.m. in the middle of the day and shit during the bubble. So
Yeah, that
it was
was
a
really weird.
yeah, because I was working from home there and I was like, damn, there's a fresh brand new game on right now live at 1 p.m. I'm doing work and watching the game at the same time. So I wasn't complaining about that, but it was definitely something a little bit different. So but it was cool. I liked the bubble.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, one of the reasons why I want to have you, because I want to talk about the conversation that's been going on about the NBA as of today, how you have players, because they, like a lot of places like in New York where you're at, vaccines mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
Some players are not feeling that, like Kyrie Irving's one of the, I guess I want to say the leader in that kind of, whether he likes it to be or not. He's kind of the people that everybody looks at when that comes up. What has been your thoughts about this whole Kyrie Irving and the pandemic and vaccination situation overall?
It's been a tough thing to decipher, man, because on one hand, because you could come at it from a lot of angles. You could come at it from as a human being aspect, as in you should get vaccinated, as everybody should be, you know, to protect the community. Then you can also come from it from a basketball standpoint where they're upset that he hasn't gotten the vaccine. And then you can also come to it from a personal standpoint, as in if that's your beliefs, if that's your personal decision, then you don't want to intrude on anyone's personal decision because it's their body. But it's been interesting, man, because I don't know, like it's basically pretty much on hold and everything is pretty much on hold, all depending on his decision. So he can easily accelerate this or he can have it still going. But I believe he's still getting paid right now, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think so.
I don't feel like I don't think they've stopped his or find him money wise yet. He's just not able to be around the team. But I don't know. It looks like this whole thing is at a standstill, and it's unfortunate because we didn't think this was even going to be a thing. But of course, like you said, New York City, we got the mandates over here, and they're not playing over here. So
it's kind of crazy because this is unprecedented. Like
yeah, it
you've
is,
never
man.
seen anything like this before, where a player like we had the protests, or I want to say a couple years now ago, of players kneeling and things like that, which was far different than this. But this is kind of a completely different situation because you see two sides where people are torn. Like you had Floyd Mayweather speaking out for Kyrie Irving, and you had other players speaking out for Kyrie Irving. You had other people saying that he's being selfish because he's not looking out for the team. And it's kind of a weird situation where I almost want to say there isn't a wrong answer, but it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because like you can't. Part of me says you can't force a person to do something that they don't want to. Like vaccination, I'm vaccinated. I think I think honestly you should get vaccinated for not only for the better of your health, but just in case, because this virus is crazy, it's nuts, and I would never want to see any of my friends get sick from it, hurt from it, die from it, especially if it's by my hands. Like if somebody gets corona because of me, I would feel guilty about it. But at the same time, I'll also look at it like that's that man's body. He has the choice. He should have final say of what he wants to put in his body or his family's body, for that matter, or not. He shouldn't be forced to do it. And on that matter, like, I don't think it's a thing, but let's say he takes the shot and he gets sick. He gets affected by it, like it affects his body and it hurts him really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to take care of him? Who's going to sit there and say, you know what, that's our bad? That's kind of a catch-22 situation. So I find the whole scenario interesting because there's not an easy answer to it.
Yeah, at all. There isn't an easy answer at all, because an easy answer would be us making the decision for him. But as I know, you can't really make decisions for another man.
Yeah.
That's really all on their choice of how he wants to live his life and how he wants to live his life with his family. That's nothing for either one of us to decide. Everyone has their own individual family. So it's tough though that he's actually really going through with it though, because I actually thought he would have been vaccinated by now. I'm not gonna lie. So I can't believe it's actually getting into the season now with no real clear direction, because really they haven't really said anything about Kyrie lately. It's been like whenever he decides to, we'll be here. That's basically all they've said thus far.
Do you think in the long run, not right now, because eventually he's going to have to come back, I think.
Yeah.
But do you think this will affect the chemistry of that team?
See, initially I just said yes really quick. But I think, this might be two answers. I think it would affect the chemistry of the team on the floor. I think a little bit. I think in the locker room, as boys, as whatever, I don't think it affects them at all, because I don't think the players are really mad at Kyrie for that. They're just like, bro, do what you got to do or whatever. I don't think they're mad at him for not coming. They're just probably, I would say upset, but maybe a little annoyed, because their team is suffering because you're not there. You're a direct result of our team not playing as well as we can be. Because if we had Kyrie here, the Nets will be a lot better right now, playing a lot better towards in the beginning of the season. So they can be a little annoyed at him for that. But then the reason why he's not there is what would make you pull back and say, all right, I guess I can understand. But selfishly, you want to be like, I need you here for the team because we're trying to win a championship. So it's it can affect him, but also not at the same time, because he could easily slide right in when he does decide to come back.
It's crazy to think about how this team, when it's all together, is a top NBA team. There's no doubt about it. And there's no question in that at all. And it seems like, I want to say this something similar happened last year where the team just couldn't get together because of injuries, and now it's Kyrie not being there. I want to see this team in full kilt. I want to see the Nets be the Nets.
Yeah.
But I also understand. It's just like, damn it, I feel like they're cursed almost.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's less. I know it's definitely less than 15, but I think it's about less than 10 of games that all of them have played together with them as a full healthy roster. So they haven't really had their full roster for a consistent amount of time. So, and it's not going to happen again this season. So they're going to have to play the season on the fly once again. So it's definitely tough to see, man, because we still haven't seen what they can be at their full potential. And that may be the case from here on out, because now the relationship with the front office and Kyrie may be fractured. We don't know what's going on there behind the scenes. And maybe they feel like he's being stubborn. Maybe they're a little mad at him for not coming back now. So it's all of those personal things that come into play also as well with the business of basketball. So it's going to be interesting, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea. Yeah. I hope he comes back, though.
I do, too. I honestly do. I hope he comes back. I hope this gets worked out. But speaking of this Kyrie Irving situation, I wanted to ask you this. The NBA's top 75 list. What did you think of it when it came out, the new list, the updated list, shall I say?
I know there was a lot of backlash and outrage about the list. I wasn't really that mad at the list. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't really that egregious to me at all. I kind of like a lot of the picks that they chosen, but I did have a few alterations that I would have done. Like I would have had Dwight Howard in. I think Dwight Howard was a snub. If I had to take someone out, because I know a lot of people were saying if you put somebody in, you got to take somebody out. I would have taken AD out. If there was a choice between Dwight Howard and AD, I would have took AD. I would have took Dwight. I don't know why people are forgetting those Orlando Magic years when he was the anchor of that team. They were going through the Eastern Conference Finals. So, and Dwight Howard was
Shaq.
Exactly. So, and that's what started the whole damn beef with Shaq, anyway. So,
yeah, that literally did.
Yeah, so Dwight Howard definitely should be in the top 75, I think, especially over AD. I think because AD doesn't have the years yet. He still has a couple more years to go. His career is not finished. I don't think you could put him in there yet when his career is not fully finished or on the tail end. So I know a lot of people were mad at Kyrie also not being on the list. I would have had him also. It depends who I would have taken out. I think a sleeper that I think a lot of people are sleeping on is C. Webb. I would have had Chris Webber on our top 75.
He definitely should have been on there.
Yeah, I'm a big Chris Webber guy. Nobody at all was talking about C. Webb being taken off that list. So people are sleeping on him too as well. So I've always been a big C. Webb supporter. So I think he should have been on there as well. And T-Mac also, I think, is one that they probably should have been included on our NBA 75, man. What you thought about it?
I thought it was, how do I say this? I don't know if you remember this, because I'm old. You remember the original list they did?
Of course, the top 50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot better. And the way that came out a lot better than I like the way this one came out. This one felt like a little bit tight together and not enough thought into it.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere too, because I didn't even know that was even coming out this year until the year actually started. So that was it came out of left field, because I didn't even realize it was the 75th anniversary myself. So
yeah, it's kind of weird, but I think I agree with you. I think that there are a lot of players. I have to look at the list right now, but if I put a list up, there are a few players I can think of off the top of my head that probably deserve to be on the list.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like what. It's just crazy that I don't know. Rating NBA players is hard. that's ranking them is hard.
Yeah, it is, because it's hard to rank them from different eras too. Because a lot of people grew up in different eras and watch basketball in different eras. So, and a lot of people on Twitter now, it's a whole lot of recency bias going on right now. They forgot a lot about how these boys were killing early 2000s, late 2000s, early 90s, late 90s, late 80s. So especially these young guys on Twitter, because NBA Twitter is dominated by a lot of young guys now, and they haven't seen these guys really ball. So they think this right now, what's going on, is the best thing that they've ever seen. So,
yeah, and also you got to kind of add into just how things shake up in terms of like play. Like, for example, Shaq is a perfect example of that. Shaq breaks the system because Shaq, in his prime, was pretty much unstoppable. So if you look at all the centers, all the greatest centers in history, they weren't as big as Shaq. They weren't as bulky as Shaq. They weren't as strong as Shaq. So it's going to be hard for those type of players to guard a Shaquille O'Neal. It was hard for players like, it was hard for players like Hakeem Olajuwon, who came up in that same era to guard a Shaq. Because Shaq was just so big and dominant. He can post you up and get in the paint and just score two. He was almost a guaranteed 2 points.
Always.
Yeah. And I think that's where I kind of fall into it, because how do you rank Jordan? Like if you
Oh,
look,
that's a GOAT. That's number one.
like if you look back at the past generation, I don't see too many players that can mess with him. Look at the generation, like in terms of the 2000s, Kobe, probably Wade, LeBron. That's about it. So it's kind of like, it's really interesting how who do you put above Jordan? Who do you put above Magic? Certain players you're like, all right, these got to be in the top 5.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, you got to take a lot of factors into the greatest basketball player, because playing basketball is not just one particular skill. It's like a lot of things that go into it. Like a lot of people, some people, I would say, don't take leadership into account. I take that into account when I'm talking about.
That should be a big thing.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't care about that kind of stuff. I'm like, that's huge. To be a leader of men, like that is hard to do. A leader of men who all have egos, all getting paid millions of dollars. You saying, follow my lead. Let's win this championship. Let's win this money. Let's get this title. That's tough to do. So you have to be great at what you do as well as that. And it's tough. So that stuff to me plays a major role in ranking players.
I kind of look at my NBA rankings like I look at my rap rankings. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is you can't really do a top 50 rappers list because there's so many different versions of rap.
Yes.
Like, you got the trap rappers like T.I., Jeezy, even Rick Ross and things like that. Then you have like the lyricists like Nas. How do you rank those all in one batch?
Yeah.
They're two different.
They're like different categories too.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, then you have Talib, then you have Black Thought, then you have people like Outkast that don't fit into one genre. So it's like, how do you really rank this type of stuff?
Yeah, that's tough. That's why a lot of those lists are subjective, man, because it's really on what you personally like or what you personally listen to is what would dictate your list, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think, and I know you're in New York, and this is blasphemy, but I'm going to tell you, a lot of cats in Miami would not rank Notorious Big in their top 5. I love Biggie. I think he's up there, but because they grew up on Tupac. They grew up on a lot of...
That's fair.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I could see that because I know people kill me for this, but I don't have E40 ranked high on my top rapper list. I've never been a big E40 guy because I talk to a lot of dudes like, especially some of my West Coast boys, and they be mad at me that E40 is not high on my list. But I'm like, yo, I just never got into E40. It's never been my thing. I can't deny. I can't put him up there if I don't personally listen to him or really like music. So he's good for some, but just not me.
Yeah, I think I had a conversation with somebody about that recently. I was like, E40 is kind of like West Coast Noriega.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is,
I like that. I like that.
People who don't know who Nori is and don't get it, just don't get it.
Yeah, they wouldn't understand it.
But the people who know that CNN stuff and that Noriega stuff, that's our dude. E40 is the same way. Like, if you don't know that Bay Area music and how much he means to the Bay Area, you just won't get it. You just won't understand it. But if you know, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Because some people won't understand. Nori's a lot of, I call it like talk rapping. Like he's rapping, but he's talking at the same time. So it's you really have to, I guess, understand it or know the culture or understand where it's coming from. That why he's saying it or I guess how he's saying it. So yeah, it's like it's an acquired taste, I would guess. An acquired listen.
Definitely, I agree. So Jus, let me ask you this question. What have you been thinking of the NBA this season so far? We're way early in it, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I like it, man. I think this NBA season is shaping up to be one of the most competitive we've had in a while, man. I know the media loves to pick their favorites that they have winning the title, but to me, there's no title favorite in my opinion.
Not at all.
Season. I agree. Yeah, I think anyone can win. I know a lot of people have the Lakers and the Nets, but me personally, with my finals pick, I don't think either one of those two are making it to the finals. So I think to me, this season in particular has been extremely competitive, and I think it will be competitive. And I like the new NBA, the new rules that they implemented this season. So it's made for better basketball, man. I like it. I know James Harden is pissed, but I tell you, we like watching it better.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the Clippers are underachieving?
This season?
This season.
I don't think they're underachieving this season because we got to cut on some slack because Kawhi's not there. If Kawhi was there, then it will be a little bit different. But I wouldn't necessarily say they're underachieving. I mean, they're doing worse than expected right now. So technically, I guess you could say they are on the.
Let's just put in a grander scale of things. In general, since Kawhi has got there, you think the Clippers underachieved?
Yes, because the goal was to win a title, and they haven't done that, or even been in the finals either.
Yes.
So I would say yes, they have underachieved. They did get to the Western Conference Finals last year, but Kawhi didn't play the entire playoffs, but he did help them get to the Western Conference Finals. So last year it was a win, but it still wasn't the ultimate goal, which is why you traded so much to bring Paul George over here to pair with Kawhi. So they haven't gotten to the promised land yet. So I would say, yeah, underachieving as a whole.
Okay, I like that answer.
Yeah.
Another question about your boy, CP3.
Talk to me.
Do you think we will see him get a ring before it's all said and done?
Yes.
I felt like last year was the moment.
I know, man.
I was
a lot
upset.
of people are saying that.
I was legit mad.
Yo, man, that whole finals was the whole playoff run was pulling on my heartstrings, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. That was a huge playoff run for me in particular, because a lot of people when they see CP, they always associate me with CP3. So I know a lot of people watching that shit were like, "Damn, what is Jus doing right now? How he feels about it?" But it was crazy, man. It was a wild ride. The main series when they beat the Lakers, that was a crazy series to even start off the playoffs.
I thought they had it. When I saw that, I thought they had it.
Yeah, man. It was tough, man. We definitely were supposed to win that finals against the Bucks, man. They had all the tools to win last year, but I can't be that too mad at him because he did have some young boys in there in the finals, and DeAndre Ayton. There's nothing 6 foot Chris Paul can do with a 6'10" Giannis coming in trying to score 50. There's literally nothing Chris Paul can do at 6 foot. So he needed Ayton to step up, and Ayton, he just got work, man. So it was really, and also the Bucks, they went through their growing pain. So they got kicked out of the playoffs a few years back. They got slaughtered by the Heat a few years back also as well. So they went through their lumps as a unit. So it was their time to win last year. And the Suns, their lump was last year. So now they need to make their way back to the finals this year, which I'm hoping they will. But it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. I think they can get there, man. I'm excited to watch NBA basketball because it's so diverse now. I feel like a few years back, people would talk about the conversation was, all these super teams are being made because of LeBron James and the Heatles and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And when you kind of look at it, it's almost like those super teams didn't matter. A lot of those super teams didn't accomplish anything. Like, it's just like kind of like it's more so less so now. You just got to have a good team that's cohesive. Like, even when the Warriors were winning, most of that nucleus was already there. They kind of just added KD to the team, but they already had all-stars who they kind of grew up to their liking.
That was a big ad, though, a very big ad.
Oh, very big ad. Yeah, that was like the big Joker. But
that was a unnecessary piece, man.
Yeah, I feel like we gotten to the point now where just having a super team isn't necessarily gonna win your championship. Like the Bucks, I wouldn't consider the Bucks a super team at all. Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even consider that Heat team that went to the finals that beat the Bucks a super team. Not even close to it. But I feel like we just got to that point now. Hey, you need a little bit more than a super team to get there. What are your thoughts?
I agree. You definitely, there's a little bit more than just throwing talent together. Like, just throwing talent together doesn't automatically equal you a championship. It probably will get you a lot of wins in a regular season. But when you get to the playoffs, literally anything can happen. And shit happens in the playoffs, for real. Honestly, every year. So I think a team with a lot of cohesion and that's all on the same page, I think is most important. So team on the same page and the same goal, everyone who knows their role is extremely important in every team. So every team that you see go to the finals, everyone knows the top 5 players. They all have distinguished roles on each team. So I think that's an underrated aspect that every team should have.
I agree. Final question for you, and it's an interesting one because it's a New York-based question.
All right.
Do you ever think there'll be a point in time where people look at the Brooklyn Nets like they do the New York Knicks?
Oh, man. if I'm keeping it a buck right now, if I'm being honest, the same as the New York Knicks? No. I'm going to be honest. Not the same, because the Knicks, man, it's just an aura around the franchise, an aura around the team. Even though they've been shitty for 20 years
long
now.
time.
A long time. They've been there 20 years now. And they still, you see, they had a little bit of success last year, and fans came crazy. They went out of control. They carried on over to the season. So I don't think they can ever have the same stigma or the same cachet as the New York Knicks, because if you've been in New York, you know, it's in the city, Madison Square Garden, Penn Station. It's just in a different area. It's literally in the center of New York City where Madison Square Garden is. So the Barclays is out here by Flatbush in Brooklyn by me. So it's a different area, and not a lot of people have really been to Brooklyn, I guess, been to the Barclays. But even also, when you go to both stadiums, the Garden is just way more live. I'm gonna be honest. It's way more live. Just the energy in there is different. So I don't think they'll ever get to the same point as the Knicks. I'm gonna be honest, nah. But they're gonna probably gain in popularity a lot more. But it's just it's not gonna be what the Knicks are. I'm not gonna lie, because the Knicks are just a $1 billion brand.
Yeah, like that New York hat, seen everywhere by people who are not even from New York, who know nothing about New York. They know who the New York Knicks are.
Yeah, and you see the Knicks fans in every stadium too. Down in Miami too.
Always in Miami.
A lot of Knicks fans. A lot of Knicks fans over there, man. Always.
A lot of New Yorkers live down here, man. So when you go to the Heat Knicks game, be just as many people cheering for the Knicks as they do the Heat. It's wild.
It's true. It's 100% true. There's definitely a lot of New York people over there in Miami, Florida as a whole, I would say. So that's for
rent
sure.
cheaper.
Yeah,
not by much now.
Head over there too, man.
Not by much. It's getting to the point where
you guys are coming up in the game, man. I'm not gonna lie. You guys are coming up in the game. I'm not gonna lie.
They started to charge them ridiculous prices for the hood. Like, yo, what are y'all doing?
I hear it. It's still not as crazy as New York though, but you're gonna have to. Yeah, but they're trying to charge for that sunny sunshine, man.
Definitely. Man, this has been a blast having you on, Just. Gotta have you on more often, man. This has been awesome.
Of course, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate the invite as always. I gotta get you on Above the Rim so we can talk about your Heat, man. We gotta do a deep dive, man. Because
I'm down.
Because I rock with your Heat this year. I'm not gonna lie. They're my pick to go to the finals in the East. I'm not gonna lie. So
I give you props for this. A couple years ago, you were the only person besides me saying that Heat was going to the finals.
Yep.
And everybody looked at us like we was nuts.
I picked it from earlier in the season. I was like, yo, something about the Heat team. I really like how they are put together. And I believe in Coach Spo, man. He's one of the best coaches in the league. So
yeah, without question.
100%. So definitely, bro, I'm gonna schedule out on the day so we can come on Above the Rim. We can chop it up about your Heat, brother.
I'm down.
They rocking this year. They rocking.
Definitely are, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let them know
I appreciate the invite. Yeah.
Definitely. Let them know where to find you out on Twitter for those who want to look and check out the Above the Rim podcast, because it's definitely dope.
Of course, man. You can check me out on Twitter at Jus Blaze _513. That's JUSBLAZE _513. On IG is Jus Blaze 513. Same thing. Check out Above the Rim podcast. New episodes out every Wednesday. I'm putting out one tomorrow, so there's gonna be a new one out tomorrow. So, Delvin, I appreciate the invite, my brother. You know, it's always a pleasure. We've been rocking with each other for years now, man. So
definitely.
I always appreciate the dope conversation, brother. And I thought, you know what's crazy? I thought we were going to talk about the GTA Vice City soundtrack in here, because I thought you were going to ask me a
we
music
definitely got to
question.
talk about that.
Yeah.
I got to have you back on to talk about that.
Yeah, because you know I play a lot of games too, so I know you're the gamer, man. So we definitely gotta have a good conversation about that too. Maybe me, you, and Baylor or some shit like that.
I'm down with that, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate the invite, of course, and it's always a pleasure, brother.
One more question for you before we go.
Yeah, man.
When are you gonna take Stephen A. Smith's job?
Yeah. Yo, they got an offer to me, man. I'm ready, man. I'm ready, suited and booted. Whenever they need me, man, the streets gotta hear me. That's
because ESPN looking a little sick lately.
Yeah, I can't even watch it like that, man. It's too it's a little old fashioned.
Yeah,
I say right now.
Trash.
They gotta liven that. Yeah,
they gotta
liven that up. I'm here, man. Above the Rim, me here.
Definitely.
So yeah, man, for sure.
All right. As always, Delvin Cox Experience. We are out. Peace.
Yes, sir.